Come a chameleon. Come and go, you come and go. Love will be easy because I like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
Sea views for days. Runs I'm actually excited to go on. And breakfast mojitos because it's tradition on vacation, right? Oh, and when I tell you the Virgin Voyages food is absolutely unreal and it's all included, it almost feels too good to be true. Cheers to that, right? This has been truly amazing, but next time you really need to be here.
Parmesan with no limits, just how you like it. Waking up next to you with no alarm clocks, just how I like it. Our morning espressos look a little different on Virgin Voyages. 17 years with you, you still laugh at my stories, even though I know they're not that funny. I'm still a 3 olive martini guy like I am back home, but here I can be truly present with you. You'll read this when we're back home, but this will be with us forever. I'm so glad we're here.
We held hands like our first date. We danced like everyone was watching. And we tried to make pasta. Keyword, tried. Even off the Italian coast, we're eating so well. The food is incredible on Virgin Voyages. And yes, against all odds, your dad wore the sparkly hat. And I loved it. Next time, you all have to come too.
Dang, man, that is some really good stuff there, John. Oh my God, let's go on a Virgin Voyage now.
Right now, let's go.
Right now. It's not
Like
we
tomorrow out of Miami.
I can be there in 3.5 hours on the Bright Line. Don't tempt me.
I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in Fort Lauderdale. We'll go down together.
Oh my gosh. Hey, folks, welcome to Thursday Night Live. It's been a while. I'm so glad to be back. And tonight I've got the great honor of having John Diorio on here, Vice President, Vice President, North America Sales. What are you?
That sounds about right. Let's go with that for now. It works fine.
So, folks, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. If you're new to the channel, first of all, I invite you to subscribe, like, share, do all those wonderful things that YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn like you to do. I'm sure John would appreciate it too. Hey, did you get to your 1 million followers or whatever on Instagram, whatever that thing was?
I could look if you want me to. I don't know, actually. We're getting closer and closer.
Stumped you right off the bat. There we go.
Okay, but like the content that our team puts on that Facebook and Twitter and all those, we have the most creative marketing team in the business. I swear we do.
You do. And you've got the most fun marketing leader, I think, in the business with Nathan. He's insane.
He's amazing. And he's so not only does he know the brand so well from just the history of the brand, but like listening to him talk, he's one of the best speakers I've ever heard. He's very articulate, but when he's just good at delivering a message and like you'll run through walls with him. And that's just why he's a great leader in our organization.
He's a great leader. He's a great leader. And I'm going to say, first of all, let's see, we got a whole bunch of people here. Hi, John. Mimi's here. CJ's here. Michael's here. Jay Lawrence is here. Alex is here. Raphael and I go way back.
Bills fans.
Bills fans. And he's in Toronto. How long would it take you, Bills fan, to get on down here to Miami and let's go hop on a ship?
A 3-hour flight, not a 3-hour train ride. But.
Sue and Phil, Alex is here. John, my gosh, we've already got a bunch of questions, and we will get to them very quickly. But first of all, I just want to start with a couple of things. You know, John,
Yes.
why don't you just kind of tell everybody like who you are and how we kind of work together?
Yeah, sure. So, Walter, first off, thank you for having us, and thank you for this amazing spotlight on Virgin Voyages. So, obviously, I've been with the brand almost 7 years, and even when we had that Inky instead, and listen, we built this brand with adults in mind, and we took a journey and created this opportunity for adult-minded people to get away and have an elevated experience. And so it's been an amazing journey to watch how this brand has started with a piece of paper and really evolved over the past, I want to say like 11 years. When you think about the idea to the entire process of raising capital and building ships and an office that we are in here in Plantation. But we knew very importantly, we also had to work with obviously the best travel advisors in the world, first mates like yourself. And so obviously we work very closely in supporting you, because no one's going to deliver a better message about our brand other than travel advisors. And so that's where Walter comes in. I think I saw some comment there, the best travel advisor. And obviously I couldn't agree more. And Walter, you've been a big supporter of this brand since day one, and we can't thank you for all of your support.
Well, thank you. In fact, we booked the very first week you went on sale.
You did? I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, we were on one of those Havana night cruises, before all of that changed. But, but yeah, literally the first week, and it was Richard Branson. I love Sir Richard Branson. And I was like, all right, I don't know what he's doing, but if he's got a cruise line, let's go check it out.
It's a pretty amazing to see the vision that he had and the leadership team to, having that first ship. I mean, listen, I remember seeing Scarlet Lady for the first time in New York, and
oh man,
I like you tear up. Like, you spent all that time, and then obviously COVID hit and it delayed everything for about a year and a half. But it's just, even now when I go down to the terminal in Miami, and you and I just got off the ship a few days ago. You come down through Miami and you come over the bridge there and you see her. Well, it doesn't even matter. Scarlet, Valiant, Resilient. And it's just that magical moment that we've created this company and this brand with the helps of folks like yourself. So it's great.
And I don't know whose decision that was to put the ship right there, but you could not have picked.
I feel like I should say it was me, just because of the live, but obviously
nobody's going to question you tonight. It's you and me.
Somebody will, I guarantee it. No, it's a that location in the Port Miami was ideal. It really helps showcase the ship right there at the end. And, we've got one of the most beautiful terminals in the world, and it's just an experience when you go in there.
You do. So we've already got a bunch of questions. Should we kind of jump in first, or you want to keep on?
Let's go through. Let's talk. You might have a bunch of new folks here that don't know much.
We got a bunch of new folks here. So John asked one. Hey, can we put a pool in the back, John? I can sketch one.
We can sketch one. That's a really great question. What would it take to replace the net? It would be building a new ship. That's probably the best answer to that, as you can imagine. Those are great questions. I remember when we launched the brand and we had renderings, there were lots of questions about the design of the ship and why you did that and why you did that. And it was funny to watch. I go back and look at some of those mock-ups and renderings. And when you see the ship for the first time, you're like, wow, that's exactly what Pink Agave looks like. That's exactly what the net looks like. And it's amazing how our design team really took They looked at every little detail. I like to say when you go through that ship, every space on that ship has its own smell, it has its own sound, it has its own vibe, and you don't feel like you're in this one long running carpeted hallway. It's just got an energy you feel when you come on the ship that's unmatched anywhere in the world.
And even I was saying to my wife, Rebecca, you know, when you go to Disney World, you cross into another land and like the music changes and the sound changes. It actually happens on your ship too. And I don't think I ever really noticed it until this last voyage.
It's and we designed that purposely, right? Because every space was designed to be intimate. It was designed to have its own personality. And that's what you see when you go from the sip to the roundabout, to the draft house, to the pizza place. They all have its own little vibe and its own little kind of uniqueness to it. And that's, I think, what really hit the mark on the design side, is that you feel like though it's not a mega ship, you feel like you're at all these amazing spaces, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of people on board the way it's designed and laid out.
Yeah, and what I tell people is that if it was a different cruise line, like a white ship cruise line, you might have squeezed 4,000 people on there, because it's actually a big ship.
It is.
But because you put 2,700 on it, I mean, I've sailed on it multiple times now where it's sold out, and it doesn't feel like it's sold out because it could hold more people. Yeah.
And we listen, back in the day, I think I think one of the early design aspects is, what if we had 4,000 people? What would that look like? And that was one of the design elements we contemplated. But I think when we did the research on what that adult experience was going to look like, and not too big, not too small, we like to say it's just right. And that just right vibe and design allows us to go to so many great places that other ships can't go to. And you feel nice.
Yes. And I think the biggest thing that I love is that pretty much every deck is one story. You don't have like that 4-story atrium that just makes the ship feel big and cavernous. It does truly feel like a yacht when you're walking around.
I think the key thing, when I think sometimes we lose sight of this sometimes, it's got that boutique feel, right? It's not that mega ship. And there's great ships out there for all types of folks that are looking for something different. But the design of our ship really is the heartbeat of the vibe you feel on the ship. That and our amazing crew on board. Really, kind of when you walk on the ship and you feel the design and you meet our crew, you know you're in something you've never been before. And it's got that unique vibe and feeling that you're just, you're somewhere different.
And you definitely do. And by the way, folks, one thing we learned in some of your town halls recently was the ship wasn't always, the line wasn't always adults only. At one time, you guys were kind of looking at families and things like that. So it could have been, folks, at one time, but I'm so glad it's not.
No,
I'm so glad you did what you did.
I think what we see in the research, it made sense to do this. And I think if you even look further out, like the research shows us the demand for adult only travel is booming over the next 5 to 10 years. We see it in the data. We see it in the research that we've had partners provide for us. And so, those that want to listen, you can have great vacations and time with kids under the age of 18. But obviously there's also those moments where you can get away without kids under 8.
Right.
And I think that's what Virgin Voyages brings, is that unique element of having an experience without children. We love children, but the reality is if you are under the age of 18, you're going to have to wait.
It'll be kind of like a graduation gift. You graduate high school, you can go on Virgin Voyages. You go. I
know lots of friends that are like, my kid sees me go on. They're like, all right. I was like, you could probably start booking that right now if you like.
Why not? If they're 16 now, I mean, we're going out to 26, 27 almost.
Very soon. We're going to have some 27 out next month.
See that?
So we're excited about that.
See that? So I'm going to jump into the question in just a second. But first, I want to just let everybody know what the current offer is, because you've got a really good offer going on right now, which
it's our best offer.
Yeah. And it's 80% off the second sailor. We got up to 300 in free drinks. As always, all of your meals, your Wi-Fi, your gratuities, your soft drinks, and your group exercise, that is all included at all times. And right now we've got the Northeast, the Mexican Riviera, and Alaska are all out there. And we've got longer Caribbean and European itineraries are out there. We're going to be talking more about this. But John, that's a really, I mean, do you want to say anything else about that offer
No,
before
I
we
would
jump
say
into
the
questions?
offer, it is our best offer. I agree. This is that time of year where this is our best offer. And so this offer expires on January 30th. So you've got literally 2 weeks to go to take advantage
Yep.
of this. And like Walter said, there are so many great itineraries. I think the key when you look at this inclusions that you see on the screen here is that there is tremendous value when you book Virgin Voyages.
Mhm.
You know, we put so much in that fare compared to other products out there that you're going to get so much value. We like to say when you come on board the ship, you're going to spend happy dollars for fun things to do. You're not going to have to pay for everything constantly over and over again. I think that's where the value comes in the way we package the pricing, and it's meant for
Right.
it. So
Yeah, I mean, you come on and you don't feel nickel and dime from the moment you get on, and you're also not pressured to buy a drink package, a dining package, a this package, a that package. There's nobody there barking at you from the moment you walk on.
that is true. It's part of that. It's part of that atmosphere and that experience we wanted to create, and
Yes.
it worked. And we see it. Listen, there's a reason we're winning all of the awards last year: Travel and Leisure,
Yeah.
Condé Nast, Cruise Critic. It's sailors are coming on, having the time of their life, and they're
Right.
voting for us because it's a unique, amazing experience.
It's fun. It's relaxing.
It is.
Okay, let's jump into some of these. So here, this is a good one because the MNVBs have changed a bit, and the pay in full just had a change fairly recently. So first of all, TA booked with a MNVB and said the 10% off at pay in full. They said it wouldn't let you apply the 10%. Now, my understanding is that does apply, but it's got to be 365 days, right?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah.
So yes. So as long as you're 365 days or more from the sailing and they're using an MNVB,
Yeah.
it does apply. Because I actually just did it recently myself.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah, with somebody. Now the second part is true. That extra sailor loot that those of us who were gold, what is it, gold certified, first mates, whatever it is, we used to be able to add a $100 sailor loot on top of the MNVB. That is no longer
That is
combinable.
true. That is
So
correct.
that is true. That is true. You can write to John and ask him to put it back.
I put it there. I got to take it out somewhere else. So
I know. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, look at this. Mimi, it booked 2026 Alaska.
Thank you, Mimi.
So what is Scarlet Night going to be in Alaska? Are we going to have polar bears? We're going to have whales jumping out of the pool? What's going to be going on? Do we know?
It's funny. I was talking to our VP of entertainment yesterday, and we started a conversation on when do we start talking about what entertainment looks like on Brilliant Lady. And
Right.
obviously, if you think about Brilliant Lady is going to be launching in New York on September 5th.
I
It's going to be in the Northeast in the fall. It's going to be down in Miami in October. It's going to be in Los Angeles in April of 26th, and then obviously May of 26 in Seattle. And so you
Yeah.
think about that, we need to have entertainment that really works for these different climates. And
Right.
I don't, he started telling me about some ideas they were playing with and what we would do. What would Scarlet Night look like if it was too cold, right? And so
Yeah.
he wouldn't quite spill the tea with me on that, but knowing our amazing leader of entertainment, he's got some ideas just to kind of
That's
concentrate. What does Scarlet Night look like in Alaska at night? So listen,
Yeah.
the scenery is going to be amazing. I mean, just picture yourself sitting
Yes.
on those red hammocks, watching the Alaskan, countryside go by. It's
Right.
It's gonna be absolutely epic.
It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Lawrence is going to be on the Transatlantic Scarlet in
Oh, okay.
October 25.
Very
Oh,
nice.
look at this. Look at this. Alex is on Scarlet right now.
Well,
He's saying
Alex,
ahoy from-
wonderful.
So Alex has been waiting to go to the Lucky Lotus. Alex, I hope you're having a great time.
That is
over
one.
there.
I saw Scarlett a few weeks ago when she was in Miami, and I toured all the changes. Lucky Lotus is absolutely stunning. What they did with the design there. So I was going to ask Alex, where is he eating tonight? But I see it. It's Lucky
He's
Lotus.
right
which is
there.
great.
He's right there. So, and then Rafi, we'll get into the Brilliant Lady in a little bit. We've got a lot to talk about with Mr. Brilliant. John is going on a Halloween cruise. Love it.
Oh, those Halloween
it.
cruises are amazing.
And Michael, you're only on like your second or third cruise. Michael booked his so Michael, let's go. Michael was my very first client.
Okay.
Like literally, I had just done a TikTok, and suddenly here he is reaching out to me like a week later. And we booked his first cruise, we booked his second cruise, and now he is going on his first Virgin voyage. You got any advice for Michael?
I would say make sure you bring something red for Scarlet Night,
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost. What itinerary is he on? That's the question.
I can't remember. Great, John. Thanks. You had to ask that. Michael, what itinerary are you on?
No, listen, I think we look forward to having you, Michael. It's going to be an amazing voyage. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about Virgin Voyages, there's just a big question that I get a lot, and I have, I'm thankful to be a top 100, and I think it's just by being honest with people, because when you look at a lot of the videos, especially from bloggers and whatnot, your ship looks crazy, because they focus in on Scarlet Night, which is honestly, it's the craziest and most fun party that there is at sea, but it is one night.
It's a dance party.
It's a dance party. And if you don't want to go to it, you don't have to.
No.
You can do other things. And I think what surprises so many people, and I get this feedback all the time when they actually go on, I tell them it's actually a really chill, relaxed, and like you said, social ship. That's what I like about it. That's what I like about it. So Rick is here. Sherry. In fact, Sherry just got off the ship. And, they were kind of like, well, I don't know about Virgin Voyages. And they sent these wonderful photos of them hanging out on Scarlet Night and all of that good stuff. So,
well, I think the question too is, I think people are, what does that experience look like? And, I think lean into obviously Walter's experience for sure. But I think when you think about the awards we've won, there's a lot of great feedback on the ship. And I think, who is Virgin Voyages for? It's anybody who is traveling without kids under the age of 18. If you are if you're going on vacation and you're not traveling with kids, you should consider Virgin Voyage, because that experience is for everybody. Yeah, we have a great Scarlet Night party, but we also have an amazing spa. We have the most amazing food at sea. You can have the experience you want to have based on the mood you're in. You want to sit in our nightclub till 1 a.m. and dance after Scarlet Night. Do it. You want to have a great dinner, go read a book outside, and go to bed early because you're going to do a run on the runway in the morning. That's the beauty of our ship. It's designed for adults, and it's designed for you to create your own soundtrack based on the mood you're in. So that's the great part of that.
And it's such a social ship. I think I've met more people on that ship just because, I think there is that relaxation factor. And again, nothing against the kids and all of that, but when there are kids on it, it is a totally different vibe.
You're worried about your kids. You're worried about someone else's kids. Right? Who's watching that kid? Who's looking at the railings? Like,
exactly.
I think you definitely know when you walk on the ship that it's a different experience. You're like, wait, what is missing? Oh, right. There's no kids here. And you just feel the relaxation. You feel people relaxing, like, oh my goodness, thank you.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you guys have done and I see there are a few more questions. We'll come back to them in a minute, but I think one of the things that you guys have done, and I've heard you talk about it multiple times now in the events, is the better guest experience. We're always looking for that better guest experience, and one of the things that you really do well is you listen very closely to the sailors, and I think because you are so new, you've been able to pivot and change some things around rather quickly. For example, we've got longer itineraries coming to Miami now when you've only got one ship in Miami, because traditionally that was always 4 or 5. And we were like, hey, what about some 7s? What about some other things? Things like that. And then Alaska, I will be honest and say I had my bingo card and never saw Alaska and Virgin Voyages on there. But your sailor said, let's go to Alaska. And you said, all right.
Well, I think the key is, as we kind of built this company, and obviously we had to pivot through COVID, but obviously, without sailing, we didn't have a lot of feedback yet on what our sailors wanted. And what we've learned over the past year is we understood what sailors wanted to see from us. Our experiences were tweaked along the way, right? If you think about that first voyage out of Miami in October of 2021, things have changed. We reformatted, we optimized, we made that experience even better because based on sailor feedback and feedback from partners like yourself. So I think what you see now is a complete enhanced version of that. And we know we have to continually listen. It's those little things. We want that constant feedback because we listen to every comment in those surveys. We look at
Yeah.
every social media post because we are very sensitive to making sure we are providing the best experience possible, because it's the experience that
Yep.
sells this brand. That's
Yep.
what makes it different, and what we include in the fare, and more importantly, that experience is the foundation of that experience is our amazing crew on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the interesting things that Nirmal talked about, and Nirmal is the CEO. I'm sorry, I can never. What's his last name?
Sabaramutu.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean, he genuinely just stopped and wants to talk.
He does.
I was shouting with him in during the event the other night because the music was loud, and we had a great 20-minute conversation, very loud. But what I loved that he said, sometimes the things that we do don't make sense from an ROI or from a financial perspective, but it makes the most sense from the guest experience perspective. And you guys have one of the greatest return rates on sailors out there, right? Because of that.
The repeat factor is really high, especially for a brand that has only been sailing for 3 years. That's the incredible part. And I also think when sailors come on board, they're buying that next Virgin voyage through our Get Lost desk there because they're having the time of their life. So why wouldn't they take advantage of that? So.
Yeah, and you've even put that on the app now. The app is slowly it's coming.
It's getting there. It's getting there. The app is coming. It's evolved amazingly well over the past few years, and we're continuing looking to enhance it over the next 6 months. So some big
he teased that there might be some beta testing going on right now on a new app.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. So Alex loves it for the food, the solo. Now you guys have a great solo focus. You've got solo insides, you've got solo sea views, and even sometimes you throw out some really good solo incentives to even go up to the balconies.
We do. Sometimes it depends. It depends on what we're trying to do from certain voyages. Obviously, when we look at the solos that come on, singles, whatever, we see a good percentage overall. And Richard Branson has created some amazing experiences. So that we've got a place where now the solo sailors can get together on the voyage on that first day and kind of get to know each other, so they see each other. In the restaurants, we have a table set aside for solos that if you want to eat at 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever time it is, that table is set aside for solos that want to come, and that way you can sit and you don't feel like you're sitting by yourself unless you want to, and that's okay as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. And what a cool, but I worked for Ted Turner at one time, and what a cool, he basically did his own thing. Yeah. Ultra successful. And I mean, you're working for a very similar kind of a person. I mean, how cool, what I just got to ask for myself, what is it like, hanging with basically somebody who is a living legend?
I don't get to see him as often. Obviously, we had him. I did a Facebook Live event with him a couple of days ago, which is really amazing. He was on Necker, but when you're around Richard, he's curious. He asks a lot of questions. He's walking around with a notebook, writing things down. He comes on the ship and he walks away with 20 ideas he wants to send us. Have we thought about this? Have we thought about this? What can we do to make the crew experience better? What can we do to make the sailor experience better? And he's just so laser focused on that experience that we take those ideas and we say, all right, can we run with this? And sometimes we do. It was his idea to do the annual pass. You can buy
what a great idea
as much as you want. In 2026, it'll cost you $199,999, and you get a free week on Necker Island. So, I mean, if you want to travel as much as you want, that's a great. But that's where Richard is so creative, and he thinks of those ideas. And like, why wouldn't you want to try that? If you have the time, live on the ship for a year. Go any ship, any itinerary.
Why not? And I mean, your Wi-Fi is good enough that I can run my company from the ship. So if I could, I would. I totally would.
I believe you. I believe you.
I agree with Alex. Can we please go to Hawaii at some point?
Well, listen, that's the beauty of ships. They can go anywhere. And that's what I love, because it's, listen, I remember 2-3 years ago, we were contemplating Alaska.
Mhm.
And I think at the time where we were in the evolution of our brand and taking on the ships we took on in a relatively quick time period, we weren't ready for Alaska. We did think about it a few years ago, but now as the research came in, we've got so many repeat sailors, like they wanted Alaska and they wanted
Right.
longer itineraries, and that's what we gave them.
Yeah, and since we're talking about it, here's a quick look at, somebody asked, where are you sailing from? And you're predominantly sailing from Seattle, but you're also hitting into Vancouver as well on a few of these. And folks, I got to tell you, Alaska is not easy. There are a lot of ships up there. And I applaud you guys for taking some extra time, because you delayed the release of these itineraries for a while.
We did.
And
we wanted to make sure we got them right.
And you really did. I mean, these are great itineraries that you've got there, including, I mean, that 12-nighter in the upper left. My goodness, that's a beauty.
Well, that came, we started thinking about what can be unique. A lot of 7 nights round trip, right? And out of for Alaska, we asked ourselves, where can we throw in that special 12-nighter if we could, or a 9-nighter? So basically, we took three 7 nights and chopped it into a 12 and a 9. And I think when you think about Alaska, not only is this the best offer we have right now, but we will be the only ship in Alaska sailing without kids.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure when Brilliant Lady gets there in the summer of 26, I'm pretty sure it might be the newest ship as well sailing Alaska. I could be wrong, unless there's another ship coming after Brilliant.
Will be.
But this I will say will be the only ship without kids. So
yeah, you're definitely going to be the ship without kids, which is going to be awesome.
I can't wait.
But they're beautiful. And folks, it's really, there are a lot of ships in Alaska right now. Yeah. And when I heard you guys were going there, I'm like, oh my God, I would not want to be that itinerary person trying to put this together, because there's only so many places you can go. Alaska is not that big. I mean, it's a big state, but it's not that big.
Yeah, it's tough. We spend a lot of time really honing in on the itinerary itself, because listen, there aren't a lot of places to go. And listen, cruising is a great product. There's a reason why every cruise line is in Alaska, and some of them have been there forever.
Yeah,
it's a great product. It's a great experience. And so we
really
took our time to find when we can really craft the right itinerary. And you can see here, some of these are absolutely incredible. And so I have never been to Alaska.
What?
No, listen, I've been in the travel industry for over 30 years. I've never been to Alaska. I've never sailed out of Alaska. Or up to around Alaska. So to me, now I know, like, if I get offered for other things I have to do, I have to say no, because I will be on that Mermaiden voyage in May.
Well, good.
Out of Seattle.
Good. Oh, yeah. And you just brought that up. Here are the Mermaiden. Some people are asking about questions about the Brilliant Lady. First of all, here are the Mermaiden. So this is going to be your last ship, at least as Nirmal said, for a while.
For a while, yeah.
The door is open there, which is awesome. So John, maybe John Tober, maybe we'll get that pool on the next one. But you're throwing like a massive 4-night port party for this thing. We're doing New York, Miami, LA, and Seattle.
Yeah. Listen, this is fun. What I love about this is we've literally are taking this ship around North America. And, this is, we can't wait to debut her in New York, bring her down to and I think the great thing about that New York itinerary, there's 2 itineraries that go back to Bermuda, but then we really start moving our way up the Northeast there, and you kind of see the fall colors, working our way up to Quebec City. And then we've got this, you see them right here. These are just amazing voyages that they're very unique. We don't do these quite often. So in that bottom right-hand corner, that is the repositioning of the ship from Quebec City all the way down to Miami.
Which, by the way, we are booked on it, and we're trying to put together a group on that particular sailing. So if anybody wants to come join us from Quebec to Miami,
we've got some really good rates on that too, right?
You got some great rates on that right now. You did some adjustments on it.
We did.
And what we did, John, I'm going to tell you, I've been on your ships, I think 7 times now. I
Yep.
think I've been in the hammock for about 15 minutes because my other half controls the hammock for the rest
Oh, I
of that
see.
time.
I see.
So we booked that slightly smaller so I can actually have a hammock for the
That's
entire
very good.
cruise.
Well, that's very nice of her to share.
And some people have been asking, what are some of the differences since we've been talking about Brilliant?
Yeah.
Some of the differences, the biggest thing that jumps out about her is she is Panama Canal ready. So what does that mean, and how is she different from her sisters?
The way you can think of the ship is that the lifeboats, as you see here, are basically brought up and in a little bit more. So, she's just a little skinnier to allow her to get through the Panama Canal. It's the only ship that can do that. And it just opens up all kinds of possibilities for us, to get through the Panama Canal over to Los Angeles and up to Seattle and do Alaska. So I'm so looking forward to seeing her later this summer.
Oh, so am I. And I think it's about time, because LA and Virgin, I mean, God, you guys were just made for each other, for crying out loud. The ship has to be out there.
Yeah, those LA voyages are doing really well. We're getting a lot of love from the West Coast. And again, it's a unique experience, right? Was not another adult-only experience like that going out of Los Angeles. And getting some of that Mexican Riviera, and then even some of those repositionings up to Vancouver are just stunning.
Yes. And I've got a few more that I'm just gonna kind of flip this up here. The one thing that I thought was very interesting, and I've had some discussions with some folks too, is that Brilliant has essentially been ready for almost a year now.
It has.
And I just thought it was I was like, why in the world would you just have this ship sitting over there? And that was actually part of the discussion I had with Nirmal.
Yeah.
And basically what it came down to is you guys released 3 ships in 9 months, which is unheard of. That's insane.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, we couldn't get any feedback. We're just kind of figuring it out. And you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, hoping that you're making the right decisions. And Nirmal said that was another one of those things that from an ROI perspective doesn't make any sense. But from a company perspective, we decided, put the ship to the side. Let's actually breathe, take a step back and look at, well, where are we? Now we're going to have 4 ships. Let's make sure that we're utilizing the 4 ships in the best possible manner. And I was like, wow, because folks, it costs a lot of money just to keep a ship. Yeah.
It's not sitting. We're not turning the engine off and the lights off.
No, I mean, you're keeping her warm, and by a warm ship, folks, that means the ship is actually running with a skeleton crew.
It is
on her.
That's why the delay was good, because we put her on sale, with the exception of Alaska, in May of last year.
Right.
The intent of that, she'd start sailing in September of 25.
Right.
So, and that just gives us that 18-month window. In that case, not even, like 13, 14 months window,
right,
to start selling her. And that's what we needed, right? And so we needed that momentum to get her out there and get the right itineraries in place too. So looks like Vintage Voyager got to see Brilliant recently in December, which is good.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of people, whether they've seen her in Europe or it's funny when I get comments like, "Oh, I just saw Brilliant." It's like, okay, good. How's she doing? She's just sitting there.
She keeps popping up on my social feed, sitting out. She's in Spain. She's in Italy. She looks like she's having a great time actually over in Europe.
She's getting her sea legs. She's basking in the sun, getting ready to get things moving. Oh, and these voyages. Oh my God. The Eclipse ones. I knew you were going to like these. Yeah.
These are the solar eclipse cruises that are going to be on Valiant and Scarlet. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about Scarlet? She got a little bit of a makeover, didn't she?
She got a glow up, as what we like to say. And so we added more seriously suites to Scarlet, which they look amazing. Obviously, we put Lucky Lotus in for Razzle Dazzle, which I think is a really nice change there. It's a nice.
I'm excited about
Razzle Dazzle during the day, but at nighttime, Lucky Lotus, that vibe, and they did an amazing job with the design of that restaurant. Like I said, I toured it a few weeks ago. It's stunning. But what I also like what we did is we took the Grounds Club 2 coffee bar up in the gallery.
Oh, I
They
know.
turned that entire area into a lounge,
That
and it's
looks
a full
great.
bar up there, and that was absolutely stunning. They really thought about the design and the colors,
Yes.
and it's intimate, and then you just got that full bar there
Mhm.
to grab a drink. So they did a really nice job there, and
Yeah.
just again the carpet, like she just got a nice little glow up,
Yeah.
and, she looks amazing.
And the whole time we were on Valiant last week, I'm like, oh man, I wish that bar was here. I wish that bar was here. All right. So you want to clarify, you booked in December for May of 26. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the pay in full just came back after the first. I can't remember when it came back.
We'd have to look at what whose booking that was. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Have your travel agent reach out to their representative at Virgin Voyages. Maybe there's still something, because
Could
the
be
pay in
something
full.
could be, who knows? Yep.
Yeah, it came back fairly recently. I remember because
You're out.
that was one of the things that I kept emailing you, John. We
I
got to
know.
bring back the pay in full. We got to bring back the pay in full. And John still talks to me. I send him
I
so many
do.
emails, and he still talks to me. This is
Yeah.
great. I love it. I love it. Question: on a 15-night voyage, are there 2 Scarlet Knight? God, could a ship handle 2 Scarlet Knights?
I don't think our crew could handle 2. I don't believe there's more than one Scar. I think there's just one Scarlet Knight.
think
It's an epic
so.
one
Yeah.
night. Yep.
But if you go on the New Year's Eve, boy, you got a heck of a party for New Year's Eve. Plus, you get Scarlet Night.
You do. They do a good job for the holidays.
Yeah, and then like Halloween, that's. And by the way, I'm going to pop this back up. What an interesting idea you guys have. Where is it? Where I put it on the Northeast slide.
Which one?
This is a 15-night transatlantic that is also the Halloween, and you're doing it with Resilient as well.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
That's a crazy one. Just because we get back on Halloween. So
Yeah. So that is totally, I love it. Monica was just on a cruise. They're blown away by the food quality. Had a great time participating in I'll tell you what, you guys do a lot of really good activities on board. I mean, you have your trivia, you have all this stuff, but they're done in a fun, engaging way. And again, you don't have the kids, so the games can be a little harder sometimes because, they can be a higher level of hardness, if you will. And also sometimes they're just a little bit cheeky. We can be cheeky because there's no kids.
Now, listen, the trivia is amazing. I just did on the last voyage shot for shot, which is a great. It's in the test kitchen, and then you learn that. And people think like, oh my God, you're just there to take shots. It's not that. That's the cheekiness on the title of it.
Right.
Shot for shot is your ability you learn how to make these craft cocktails. And then the shot part of it is you learn how to take amazing pictures.
Yeah.
So we've got our happenings cast will then lead you over to a staged area with that amazing cocktail. And she and or he will walk you through how to use your camera to catch the right angle and different settings on your phone so you get the best possible picture. I learned so much. Like I didn't know my camera could do this. And it was just it was fun. And it's just you learn about that cocktail making. We've got some best folks on board making cocktails. So
you do. Excellent. Some of my favorite old fashions are on the ship. In fact, I was in Razzle Dazzle for dinner and I got the Old Sport. Whoa.
I've not had that one yet. Okay.
Oh, dude, that was good.
I like
That
the
was
popcorn.
really good.
I like the popcorn drink with the
Popcorn.
with
Yep.
tequila. I forgot what to call that. They changed it to tequila not too long ago, and I was
They
very
did,
happy.
because it used to be an old fashioned.
It was. Yeah,
And I think because you got
the
the
new
Old Sport.
version. Yeah,
I don't
shot
know.
for shot with Ryan is great. I'm trying to think. I was just on. Was it Emily? Who's on Valiant? I forgot her name, but she's fantastic.
I don't know. Every one of your crews are amazing. And in fact, what I love is every time I go on, I seem to have a barista that I recognize
Really?
from a previous. Yeah. Yeah. It's like on this one again in the grounds club downstairs. You're like, hey, Walter, I remember you.
Is that because you get the name badge on that said "Hi, I'm Walter"?
Well, yeah. I got my little logo on, but also we follow each other on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. And my first 3 voyages, we had Carlos for our diva, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the new version of Around the World with the Diva was phenomenal in the Red Room.
I haven't seen the new version yet. I have to.
Really nice.
I'm never on the ship for vacation. I'm always working.
Well, yeah, me too. But sometimes you just gotta sneak out and go
I know.
see
This last
something. But
voyage was harder.
what I loved about it was the diva didn't have to carry it. It looks like you have a whole new dance team on the ship or something. They were
Our
great.
entertainment team is amazing. We've got such a great team.
Phenomenal. Hey, I don't know if you want to touch this one, but what's your crew retention rate?
I'm in sales. I have no idea.
Hey, how's your sales retention rate?
In all honesty, we have a very high retention rate. I don't know what the number is,
Yeah.
but I know our crew, when a contract ends, there's a really extremely high retention rate moving
Yeah.
from one ship to the other.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're now in the process. We're on tour right now around the world recruiting for the crew for Brilliant Lady. That process just started. But even through COVID, when we had to put the ships in layup for a bit,
Right.
we did get extremely high retention rate. People wanted to come back, and it's because we take care of our crew.
Yeah.
Our crew they're well taken care of. It's a fundamental belief in all of Richard's companies. You take care of your crew, they're going to take care of your customers, and it's going to get you a nice ROI.
Yep.
It's a simple business model, and our crew you talk to our crew on board the ship, they can be themselves. They're not stuffy, and they are happy to be there because we think of it. It's not a job for them, though it is. This is their home. This is where they're living. They're away from their friends and family. And we want to make this feeling incredibly special for them that they are at home and they're working at sea with us and they're just providing the best service. We have the best crew anywhere.
Yeah. And just a very small thing that you guys do, but it's huge that I've heard more than one crew member talk about it. Most cruise lines, folks, the crew has to pay for Wi-Fi.
That's true.
And it's not much cheaper than what we pay when we come on the ship.
Pay for it. Yeah. And we thought very early on, these folks are away from their families. They shouldn't have to worry about, what's it going to cost me to call home? So it just made, it's one of those things that Nirmal said, was there an ROI there? Maybe not necessarily, but it was the experience there's experience for the sailors.
Right.
And an experience for our crew. And that was a core fundamental for creating a great experience for our crew because we knew that would result in a great experience for our sailors and we would get a great repeat factor.
Yeah. I mean, you take care of your people, they take care of the folks on the ship. It's that simple. And we can feel that.
I love Bill's comment below about Slam Allen. Bill, I agree with you because I love Slam Allen. He's my all-time favorite performer on the ship.
My God.
And I don't know if he's going to be on because I'm going to be on the voyage going from Portsmouth up to Iceland before that. So I'll see what I can do, Bill, because if I can get him on my voyage, that means he's got to come back on yours. So
Slam, he was on the first two sailings that we were on, and I was just blown away. I got a chance to meet him.
Yeah.
Not on this one, but on the previous one we were on, and just to say hello. He is such a phenomenal, folks. If you ever see Slam Adams, I don't care if he's coming on at 12:30 in the morning. You set an alarm and you come back down to On the Rocks.
And
he is that good.
It's him. It's his band. They're just so talented, and he's just, again, it's that unique. There's no script. It's authentic. He's being himself. Plays what he wants to play, and he goes with the vibe of everybody at On the Rocks, and it's just, he's my favorite. He is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, and everybody. Wow, we're getting a lot of comment about.
Everybody loves Slam. The fact that everybody knows who Slam Allen is just makes me smile.
It was one voyage we were on too, where you had a female guitar player who used to be in the Wrecking Crew.
Really?
God! Oh my God! She was. Oh my! It's like you just can't. I was waiting for smoke to come off the guitar. Her hands were moving so fast, so it's unfreaking believable. Folks, I do want to remind you. Wow, John, it's been 45 minutes already.
Oh,
Jeez,
okay.
My goodness, we can. And it's like this when John and I get together too. By the way, we just start talking, and then before you know it, it's like, oh,
an hour goes by.
I know. We just missed everything. Right now, like John said, this is their best offer that they've had in quite some time. It is 80%.
This is changing.
Yeah, it's going to change on, when did you say, January 30th, the last day?
January 30th is the last day to get this specific offer. Yep.
This specific offer. And folks, the way it works, we're in what's called wave season right now, which is when most of the cruises for the year are booked. And these are like the best deals. So when February comes, it's still going to be a good deal, but it's not going to be this deal.
Not as good. Yep.
And then when March comes, still going to be a good deal, but it's not going to be the deal from February or January. So if you want to book, and one of the things I will say, Virgin, you guys really work with the sailors. Like, you actually want the sailors to come on board. So if we have to make some changes or things are going on, you guys have been so great to work with. I've had a few situations with some sailors. Of course, I have the absolute best representative in the world with Tamika, Team Tamika, all the way. She's amazing. But what I love is that I can reach out to Tamika, and usually, like, within 48 hours, we've got some sort of a thing. And even if it's like, well, your policy says this, is there anything that we can do? And it's like, well, we can't do everything, but here's something we can do.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that,
for a reason.
well, and I love the fact that you're not like, well, we're just going to take their money. Too bad. It's like, well, we can't do everything, but here's something we can offer. And maybe we can do, it's like, within reason, you guys are always willing to work with the sailor.
We try. But there's policies for a reason, though, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, policies are absolutely there for a reason, but I do love that you guys are like, if there's something we can do, we'll try. And I do love that. I do love that very much. John, what is your favorite thing to eat? What's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal is the steak at Extra Virgin.
Oh, me too.
My favorite meal. Get the artichoke and the steak, medium rare.
Yes.
I'm a happy camper. It's that porcini rub steak. I think it's the best steak on the ship. I've said that for years, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite dinner meal.
Yeah, and then that oxtail pasta. I get that from time to time too.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. Not bad. See, I love see how honest John is. He's like, he could have said, "Oh, that's phenomenal," but he's like, "Oh, it's not bad."
The pasta is amazing on the ship, but to me, I love that steak. That steak, like, I'll try the oxtail if it's in front of me, but I'm not ever ordering it as a meal. I want that steak every single time.
So what is your favorite guilty pleasure, or maybe favorite item from the galley?
From the galley, oh boy. I like the sausage rolls.
Oh,
have you seen the sausage rolls in the morning?
I have seen them. Yeah,
that's one of my it's hard not to walk by and take a sausage roll. That's one of my favorites. It's less about the sweets. Sometimes the chocolate chip cookies are to die for, but I'm less on the sweets and more on the savory. And so that sausage roll is one of my favorites up in the galley. It really is.
So for me, I have to have it once on every voyage. Just that French toast burger.
Yeah, I've never had that. The reason I don't my feeling is I'm going to eat that and I'm going to go right to sleep.
Well, yeah, there is that.
And knock me out. So
it's good to split it. Like, if there's somebody there with you, each have a half.
Yep.
With the syrup, you got to do the syrup too. And then I got to do it once every time. Oh, and I will say, man, boy, that bacon got spicier on that Valiant Lady. Folks, if you've never had spicy bacon, you got to go to Razzle Dazzle. Oh my God, it got really spicy on that last one.
I didn't try it.
I had to give it to somebody else. I was like, whoa, I like it, but whoa, it really got up.
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite cocktail. What's your favorite cocktail?
Oh my goodness. I'm a very simple. I'm a simple fan of simple cocktails. So my go-to on the ship is simply a Belvedere on the rocks with a lime. That's my favorite cocktail. That's not really even a cocktail at the end of the day, right? But that's my favorite. That's my go-to. Or a Casamigos Reposado on the rocks.
Oh.
I love tequila as well.
Wow. Very nice. I'm an old-fashioned guy.
Old fashions, yep.
Yeah, but I do love the I call it an Oaxaca old fashioned, but the one that they do in pink agave with the tequila and the mezcal.
Yep,
love that so much.
That's not bad.
Let's see, we got votes for the steak in extra virgin. We got the steak in blue agave. We got the ribeye in pink agave. Gazpacho. Whoa, Raphael pulling out gazpacho.
Interesting. Okay.
See, now Bill wants a French toast burger. I'm telling you, man. What you got to do, John, you and Nirmal go there for breakfast sometime and just, split the darn thing. You'll love it.
Yeah, I'll see what he says.
And more pink agave ribeye. I'm loving it.
There's something great. Like, I think, Stu, when you think about like Razzle Dazzle, they've got the beet, what were those called? The beet pierogies.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Mhm.
Like anything back at the Dock House with the Opa Hour and all that. The grilled steaks those are my favorite back there. It's sad I didn't get back there this last voyage, which really I was going back there to have some of that. But I'm also like, when I come on the ship, what I always do, the one thing I do every single time I get in the ship, I will find a way in that first hour or two to go back to the arcade. And I will play the Daytona 500 racing game.
Man, you play that? I wish I would have known.
Or I'll play a little Donkey Kong or what's the other Tapper when you the Tapper one when you're serving.
Yeah.
And of course that's all free, as you know.
Yeah, no, it's all included, dude. I've been looking for somebody to race with. Okay, next time, you and I are gonna have to go back there and do some racing. I love it. Yeah, and folks,
right line. You can catch the 9 o'clock. You'll be there by 12.
I'm telling you, can we get on the ship, do some playing, and then just hop off? We'll go grab some lunch.
Yes.
You can do it, right? You can get us on there. But that's just one of those fun. There's two really fun things on the ship that I think a lot of people might miss. One is that arcade, which, like you said, is absolutely free. All you do is push the button, and you're right back to your childhood. Yep. And then the other one is the groupie, which is the private karaoke.
Yep.
I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time when a bunch of us went in there.
I go to the groupie every time. I love going to the groupie. It's one of my favorite things to do. It really is.
That is a private art. It's a private karaoke. So, I don't sing in front of people, but once you get in there, oh my God, so fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah, so fun.
What's your go-to? What is your go-to karaoke song?
Copacabana.
Okay.
What about you?
Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Oh, good one. That's a good one, man. Yep. Okay, so next time we got to go to the group. So we're going to go to the arcade, and then we're going to go to the groupie.
Exactly.
I love it. I'm learning so much about you, John. I'm so glad you came on. I hope everybody else has been having fun with this. I mean, we've almost gone an hour. Yes. What can we've kind of danced all around Brilliant Lady a bit, but what are some of the, I know you can't tell us everything, but what are some of the things that we can expect from Brilliant Lady?
I think obviously like the variety of the itineraries we're going to, I think that's key, especially that Panama Canal sailing to come through there. Man. I think we are looking at what does entertainment look like on Brilliant to make it a little different. That's a work in progress as we think through that here over the next 6 months or so.
Right.
So we're just happy to have that fourth ship. We've had her for a while now, and we can't wait to get her. I mean, you think about where we were 3 years ago with that with Starlit Lady, and now 3 years later we're going to have 4 ships.
I know.
So, and by that time, theoretically, we'll be coming up on year 4 of sailing, and we'll have 4 beautiful lady ships sailing all over the world.
Yeah, and it doesn't even seem almost real. I mean, it's kind of nice that you guys did have a chance to actually step back and enjoy it rather than 1, 2, 3. Here they all come. Boom.
Well, it's just it's just trying to build that customer base, right? It takes time to do that. You just because you build it, they don't come. Like there's a process, and there's the marketing aspect, and there's the support of the travel advisor community. It takes time to build that loyalty base too, and we're seeing it though. That's the great thing. So we're in a position now where people that have sailed 3, 4, 5 times, they can't wait for Brilliant because there's unique itineraries. They couldn't wait for Resilient because that was unique. And so we really have got the itinerary deployment really honed in based on what our sailors want. And we see it in the bookings. That's the best part.
Yes, I'm going to flip through these while we kind of wrap it up, folks. If you got any questions, go ahead and throw them in there because we will be wrapping this up very shortly. I want to remind you that I am Walter with Where's Walter Travel. We are a top 100 first mate. I forget how many people are selling Virgin Voyages in the United States, but we are in the top 100 of those people. We've only been in business for 2 years. We're very proud to be a top 100 2 years in a row, and so we know these ships. Thank you. Thank you. My wife and I work extremely hard at it, and we love these ships. The ship basically sell themselves because once you get on it, I have had people, I am hardcore this, I am hardcore that, I don't want to get on this ship. And maybe a son or a family member, somebody drags them on the ship, and then suddenly we can't get them off.
Those are
Because-
my favorite stories. They're like, I wasn't sure, and oh my goodness, I got off. It was the best experience. The crew,
Yes.
the food. There is literally something for everyone. And like I said, you come on, you get great value for your money of what we include in the fare, plus the great offer we have right now. There's no
Yes.
better time to book a Virgin Voyage than right now.
No, there isn't. And one client in particular, I do love. There's a certain cruise line that has a funnel that looks kind of like a whale, and she definitely did not want to come on. And by the time we got to the 7th of 8 days, she's like, I don't think I can ever go back on that cruise line again. This is amazing.
Listen, there's something for everyone out there. The cruise industry is amazing.
Absolutely.
When you think about that offer, what that experience is like,
Yes.
it's a game changer.
Yes. And yes, Aaron, right now, any sailing you want to book, that 80% off the second sailor, right, John? I am correct on that, right?
All voyages. Yep, all voyages.
All voyages. Let me throw that up there one more time so everybody can see it. Where did it go? Here it is. 80% off second sailor, up to $300 in free drinks. What's included? All meals, gratuities, Wi-Fi, soft drinks, group exercise. If you pay in full at least 1 year out, you can get a 10% discount. I pushed really hard for that. I think I don't know how many emails I sent back to John, because you had that when you started. Then you took it away, and I was like, John, why'd you take it away?
Reason for it.
I know. There's a reason for everything. I just didn't see it on my end. So folks, if we can help you in any way, like I said, I am a top 100. We're very proud of it. We love these ships. They're so much fun. We're going to be on the Brilliant Lady possibly in September and October. Can't wait to meet her. But we've now been on every lady ship. I don't have a favorite, although Scarlett,
Scarlett's
that was
our first girl.
She was our first. Yeah. I haven't seen the new lady yet, so I do want to see the new mermaid. I think that's interesting.
Oh, I took a picture of that. Now I'm not sure if I did. That's a really good. I've
seen it. She had some pretty crazy hair now.
She had a nice do.
Yes, she did. So John, I cannot thank you enough for coming on. This has been an absolute hoot.
Thank you for having me. Anytime.
Anything you want to leave our audience with before
when you're ready to book Virgin Voyages, give Walter a call. He'll take good care of you for sure.
Well, thank you, my friend. And everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. If we can help you in any way, there's links wherever you're watching me, or just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. Have an awesome evening, everybody.
Cheers.